Half the year is over. I can't believe it. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is April, and if not, welcome back. Man, June just got here, and I know we're not quite 6 months yet, but we're close enough. I figured what better time to do the mid-year book freakout tag. I absolutely love doing these. Every year I love watching everybody's videos, so I hope you're all filming these. So I have so many books to talk about that I'm super excited about, so let's just get right on into the tag. All right, starting off with a bang, best book so far. I think I've read 60 books so far, and I have 11 5-star books. Not too bad. I'm actually pickier this year. What the heck? Usually I give everything 5 stars. Come on now. However, I'm going with best book so far this year was Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. This one just kind of really blew me out of the water. Like, I was very surprised at how much I loved this book. It's dark academia, it's sexy, it's student teacher, and it has a lot of mystery elements in it as well. So this one just really, I loved it so much. If I can find a special edition of this book, I would love to add it to my shelves, but not quite there yet. But yeah, if you have not read this, again, it's dark academia, it's student teacher, they're in college, so not anything too dark there, but also there's a mysterious island and a lot of scientific things are happening as well. So it's a really good one, I promise. Best sequel, of course, goes to Glow of the Everflame. I am obsessed with Penn Cole this year. Her books are just honestly such an adventure and so fun. The first book of this is about a girl kind of caught between two worlds. Her mother is a healer, and as a healer, she heals both humans and the descended, which are people who are descended from gods, basically. There are just atrocities being committed to all the humans, so there is an uprising happening that she's also being pulled into, but she can't help but, you know, want to save people. So this is just a really, really good adventurous time. It's really easy to read and fast-paced, so even though the books are getting longer and longer, honestly, I don't think it takes that long to read, so I loved them. A new release you haven't read yet, Throne of Honor and Blood. However, I will be reading that very, very soon, probably starting later this week, because that is Crystal and I's book club pick for this month. We have a live show at the end of the month on the 21st, 22nd, it's Friday, which we're going to talk all about this book. We read the first one, and again, we were blown out of the water by this one. 5 stars all over. You have a witch and a fae prince, and they absolutely hate each other. This is the most enemies to lovers ever. It's incredibly slow burn, and you just are taken through this ride where these two people who absolutely hate each other are also fated mates, and they can't not be together, otherwise bad things will happen. So this is a great one. I am dying to read the second one. I just haven't had the opportunity yet, so I can't wait to read it. Most anticipated release of the second half of the year. I'm getting an arc of this very, very soon, and it comes out like this week sometime. This is An Ocean of Sin and Starlight by Karina Halley. This is kind of a spin-off series to A Ship of Bones and Teeth. This is about a priest pirate and a siren together, so I can't wait to see what that's all about. I honestly am trying not to look too much into it because I absolutely loved A Ship of Bones and Teeth, and I just know I'm gonna love this too. Ah, my camera died again. Oh. One day I will get better at this. Biggest disappointment of the year so far. Oh man, this was so disappointing because I actually DNF'd this book, and I'm so sad that I did because I am obsessed with this author and I have loved every single other one of her books. I'm talking about Old Flames and New Fortunes by Sarah Hogle. A lot of this comes down to the fact that this is fake dating in a contemporary romance, and I can't stand that. I literally can't stand that. I did try it. I tried it in the very beginning. However, the fake dating trope just doesn't work for me. It's not believable. I can't understand why people just don't tell the truth. Like if somebody makes an assumption that you're together, why don't you just go, no, nope, not me. I don't understand the ruse. I just don't get it. I think it's stupid. And even though I know Sarah Hogle probably does this incredible justice and does an amazing job, and it's probably hilarious because all of her books are, I just really couldn't read it because of the trope. Like, because I really hate that trope. Put it in fantasy, put it in historical romance, and I eat that up. But for some reason in contemporary, nope. Not for me. I felt so bad because I did actually request this on NetGalley. And I had to say I wasn't gonna leave a review for it because I don't wanna leave a bad review for something I didn't read. I literally DNF'd it within like 2 chapters. So I just couldn't. Biggest surprise. So I have 2 books for this. The first one is After the Plague, and this is by, I think, Imogen Keeper. This is the first book in a post-apocalyptic series. However, this first book is apocalyptic, so it's kind of as the world is being taken over by a super virus, and you start seeing everyone just kind of like dying and falling off. You know, whole continents of people are being cut off from communication and nobody's being able to talk out because everyone's dying. This book will follow a couple. However, this first book was all just really set up for it, of the 2 main characters and how they get to where they're starting. I actually was surprised I could read this one because usually things like pandemic related causes me such anxiety. I definitely have like pandemic anxiety for sure. But I feel like I'm so far removed from it now and I'm doing so much better with my anxiety that I was able to get through this book, and I honestly really, really enjoyed it. Like, really enjoyed it. They are novellas, and I already have the second one on my Kindle, so can't wait to get started with that one. The other one was called The Last Hunt by Abby Grayson. This was about 2 bounty hunters in space going after a big bounty that could, like, you know, really save them. And this was just such an adventure. This is exactly what I'm looking for in sci-fi romance. These 2 have a past as well, I'm pretty sure. Was it this book? It was this book. This was just such an adventure as they go from port to port, hopping, space hopping, planet hopping, you know, spaceship time together as well, and they have to work together reluctantly. And it's just like, it was such an adventure, so cool. I think I gave it 5 stars. I did give it 5 stars. This was just a great one. I have been in the mood for sci-fi space opera romances with humans, not alien romances. So check this one out. It was just really fun, honestly. It was a fun book. New favorite author, Cass O'Shire. She wrote this very cozy book, Polar Expedition. It has a longer title than that. However, Burn, the hero in this, was like a cinnamon roll hero daddy polar bear shifter stalking this woman in the like Arctic, okay? And it's so cute and so good. I desperately want to read the second one. She also has like a novella coming out too in the same world. I really, really need to get to it, but I really loved her humor and just, I'm not always into a cozy book, but she made me into a cozy book. So that's why I'm calling her a new favorite author of mine. Also, Penn Cole, obviously love her series right now. I'm obsessed with it and I'm gonna see her next year at a con. Also, I'm kind of obsessed with Holly Wilde. She is writing weird romances, sentient object romances that I'm obsessed with. We read this book, The Deviled Egg Made Me Do It, for weird ass romance. It was a time. It was a time, and I want to read literally every single book of hers now. I have Taken by the TVR on my Kindle. Yeah, yep. And then also, we are reading SPF Me for this month on Weird Ass Romance. So that one is on the 14th. So join us on Friday. Like, it's just a Friday fun time. You do not have to read this ahead. In fact, please don't. We read it all together on our book club night, and it's just a fun time. Again, it's just a laugh. It's just a laugh and a good time. So Holly Wilde, because she makes me smile, new favorite author for sure. Newest fictional crush, Dacre from the Veiled Kingdom. Again, love a man who is blunt and just says exactly what he wants and is a little dirty. Maybe a lot of dirty. Okay, love him. Also going with Russian Caleb. That is not his name, okay? He has a name, I don't remember what it is, but in this book from Meg Ann and Kayla Rain, there's a character in here that we have dubbed Russian Caleb. Also obsessed with him. He's actually the villain. I really want to know if he gets his own book because obsessed. Obsessed with these audiobooks. Obsessed with Russian Caleb. New favorite characters. I have two. Cherry from That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. Cherry is just a delight. She is so hilarious from the first moment she drugs Dante. Obsessed. Her reaction to Snow, obsessed. Her reaction to every creature in this book, obsessed. Like, I just love her so much. She's such a good time. And then also Thais, I think that's what her name is, Thais from The Mistress Experience. Also love her. She's another one of those very blunt, crass characters that I just gravitate towards them. I love her so much. She's just built up all this wall of toughness, and you just know she's a big softie on inside too. So love her so much. A book that made me cry. I actively avoid books that make me cry, so I really don't have any recommendations for this because that is not my jam. If you were looking for emotional books that will tear you apart and make you cry, not here, okay? This is not the channel for that. However, Untouched made me very sad for the main characters. They are caught in such a hopeless situation that is just this heavy weight that you feel when you're reading this book. This book is about a man who has been held captive by his uncle in an estate since he was 11, and he's 25, so many years. And the female main character is abducted and brought to this estate to be used as his plaything so that way he'll stop trying to escape. It is super dark for historical romance, and the romance is kind of fast-paced. However, so good. So good. I've never read anything quite like this, and it was such a good book. And again, just that feeling of hopelessness throughout this whole book, that how do they get out of this situation? How do they have their HEA? Like, I constantly was like going like this because I just felt so bad for both of them. It was such a great book. Books that made me happy. Literally every single book that we've read for Weird Ass Romance Book Club. Those nights where we get to be on live and reading these stupid, idiotic, weird, bonkers books together. It's always a good night. I always leave those nights with a headache because I've laughed so hard. Like, it is my favorite day of the month almost. You know what I mean? like it's always such a good time. And I just love it. I love that I don't have to prepare anything for those days. Like, we all read it together and we all experience these books, good or bad, together. And it's just such a good time. It's what I wanted booktube for me to be about. You know what I mean? Like, just having a good time together, reading books. reading weird books. I didn't know there was always gonna be weird romances, but here we are. Here we are in this space. Hey, it's working for me, and I hope it's working for you if you join us. If you've never joined us before, join us on June 14th. Again, you don't need to read the book ahead of time because they're only like 30 pages. So we'll have a little bit of sprints and then we'll laugh our faces off, okay? It's such a good time. Most beautiful book you bought this year. Probably this one. I love this book, but I also love what they did with this book. This is Midnight Whispers book. And I think my favorite part of this is the naked hardcover here. It's gorgeous. Like, honestly, it's just gorgeous. I love everything about it. Another book I got that honestly, I didn't finish the book. These are all my special editions back here. But also this one, Lore of the Wilds. Again, what makes this so special to me is the naked hardcover of this book. Like, this was one of the Fairy Loots Romantasy books, and this whole thing is just beautiful. The constellations, the foiling, I mean, gorgeous. And then of course, the mushroom sprayed edges. So those books probably the most gorgeous that I've bought. I don't buy like a ton of books, so I've actually bought more books this year than I intended to, which is a problem. I'm adding in this question here for me personally, just because I do have a booktube channel, but I wanted to say what my favorite bookish video I did was this year. Hands down winner is my series on this bookshelf makeover that I did. I'm so proud of it still. I still talk about it all the time. Y'all compliment me on my shelves all the time, which makes me feel really, really good, because I know having them turned around is not everybody's bag, but I love it, okay? I love it. That also was just a really hard project, and I am proud of myself for knocking it out. Also, my video about hating Colin. I really love that video. I really love to hate Colin. It really boosts my mental health. So, love that video too. The last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Oh boy, do I have a lot. I have actually a lot of fantasy romance books that I need to read by the end of the year, because I'm going to my first ever book event. I'm going to Romantasycon next year in February, meeting up with some friends, and then also meeting up with just a ton of indie fantasy romance authors. There's like 80. And so I would love to get through a lot of those books to at least try them. I'll probably end up doing like a try a chapter challenge. Let me know if you want to watch that or if you're curious about that, because there are so many authors. I know I won't get to visit all of them, but I want to find my favorites, you know, that I absolutely must see on that trip. I'm really excited about that con. Again, first con ever. It's Romantasycon. It's in LA. And it's February 22nd, something like that. It's towards the end of the month, so it'll be a great time. So that's it. That's the whole tag. Let me know if you've enjoyed any of these books as well, or plan to read them. So as always, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.